Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's number one mother-son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Hello.
We're back, week 3 for me, no caffeine, back to normal,
You're looking
feeling,
great.
yeah, doing much better. We're getting there, almost the end of the month. Weekly-ish. We're recording this on the afternoon of Wednesday, January 24th. We said we are gonna do every Sunday. Has not worked out. We're at the mid-season mark now. We're still weekly, doing well weekly, but
Yeah,
you know,
once a week.
in the midst of the season, it's it's tough. Lots of games, lots of scheduling. It's hard to get guests on this way. I'm trying to get guests on, but we always record at weird times, midday on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
living the unemployed life. Unlike unlike our guests who would like us to record at normal times. So we'll get some guests on eventually, but TBD on that. Um, yeah, since we last recorded, we got 6 games on the docket. Celtics went 5-1. They're 34-10 overall, first in the Atlantic, first in the East, first in the NBA, and now 20-1 at home. And we'll get to that in a bit, but let's just get them in order. Some of these are more interesting than others. We can glaze over some of these because I think some of the more interesting things to talk about today are outside of the Celtics.
hmm
I think we'll get to that past the games, but we'll start where we left off last time, which was a little rebound game off of the Bucks loss. Celtics beat the Rockets at home 145-113. Tatum was ejected in this game, if you can remember.
Yeah.
Normal Tatum ejection antics, I would say at this point.
Yeah.
What'd you think about this one, if you can remember back?
I don't think there was anything outstanding except the flash to Ime's face looking unhappy and all the time. It was, yeah, I think it just wasn't a good game for them in any way.
Yeah,
We
I
looked
was I
really
was
good.
I was paying attention to his the ovation when they announced him. Very murmurs from the crowd. It wasn't didn't seem like a strong opinion either way on the Ime return, and I think that's
Yeah.
probably fair.
Yeah. It's a year. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
we
it's not
went to the
like he was,
finals.
yeah, but still, I don't know. Yeah. A year, kind of a weird whole thing. I didn't think there would be booze, but I didn't think it would be overwhelming. Welcome
Yeah,
back either,
it
right?
was
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I thought it
yeah.
was an appropriate response.
hmm Um, Tatum's ejection. We were ahead by so much. Why is he whining so loudly?
Yeah,
That
who
is my
knows?
only. It's like I get you were fouled, but you're handily winning this game. You're having a decent
Hmm.
game. He's shooting pretty well. Like, why are you so whiny? I don't understand. So it was just, I thought a silly timing. It's one thing if you're in the heat of it. I guess it's better to go out in that kind of game than a close
Yeah,
game
an
where we
important
really need
one.
him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, just a weird time to be that whiny and that complaining. So anyway, yeah, it was just a weird ejection. I don't know. Nothing else really stood out to me in that game. You?
No, yeah, Pritchard had a good game, 7 for
Yep.
10, 19 points. I like Şengün. He had a pretty good game as well. Uh,
Yeah,
if he
he's
can
so
get some
interesting to
points.
watch.
Yeah, it's a very unique game, I would say.
Yes. He's so
But
interesting to
yeah,
watch.
no, I mean, just clearly the better team, and we just
Yeah.
overwhelmed them, especially in the third quarter. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And then by the
I think we
fourth, I think no starters were really playing, right?
yeah, once Tatum
Yeah.
came out, it was,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh
So
yep,
yeah, I guess good for bench people to play,
yep, good
but
one.
yeah, other than that,
Agreed.
nothing
Moving
really to say.
on. After that, another win on the road in Toronto, 105-96. No Jaylen Brown in this game. I thought we were a lot of turnovers, sluggish offensively. 105 is below average for us. Holiday came up big in the first half. He was kind of hot in the absence of Jalen. What'd you think?
Interesting because a lot of changes, right? RJ
Hmm.
Barrett, quickly was in
Hmm.
there. I think they have a lot of offensive talent. Not sure how to use it yet. So, and I don't know if they're going to continue trades or what they're going to do, but
Well, they
there's,
traded. They still had
oh, they
Siakam
have.
at this point.
Oh, did they? Oh, they
I
did.
don't
You're right.
remember.
You're right. Yep.
They had
Yes, they
Siakam,
did. They
who
did
is
have
now on the
Siakam. Yep.
Pacers. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
So
they've
interesting what they're trying to do. I can't quite tell,
so Siakam was a free agent
Hold
next
on. I
year,
got
and
to
I
turn
think,
my timer off.
oh boy. All right. Well, I'll just keep going. What else about the Toronto game? Um, yeah, Quickly and Barrett, the new guys. I've always been a Quickly guy. I picked him as my most
Sorry.
improved player. You're good. We're back.
I'm back.
So I was just saying I picked Quickly as my most improved player at the beginning of the year. So always been a
So,
Quickly
and I felt
fan,
bad.
but
I kind of feel bad for him because I think this is going to be a difficult team for him to. I don't know,
no,
and I don't know.
I think it'll be better.
Well, eventually, I'm hoping. But
Yeah.
I mean, when you trade Siakam, what is that message? You don't. What do you? I guess I don't know. I haven't read enough about what
Well,
their
Siakam was a
goal.
free agent next year.
Yeah,
And so I think their thinking was he was going to leave anyway.
yeah,
And so they might as well get some stuff in return for him rather than just let him walk. It's not like they're 15 and or they were 15 and 25 at the point of this game. I think they knew that this wasn't going to be their year. So
yeah.
it's more
I
about
don't
looking
know.
forward
He
role. And
seems
I
like a
think
big loss to
Siakam,
me.
yeah, but he's older than the rest of the guys. And as I said, he was probably going to leave for another team at the end of this year anyway.
Yeah,
And so I think they're kind of in reset mode, trying to get younger guys like a Quickly and Barrett in there to
yeah. Well, they've got
get
some
something
good,
going for
really.
future
Scotty
years. Yeah,
Barnes. They've got some good pieces.
yeah.
But their defense is struggling a little bit. Obviously, they need a
Um,
little bit of work on that.
and
But
they this game they didn't have Hurdle. They had no size. So actually,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
credit
yeah,
to Missoula.
yeah,
I had noted. So they went on a run, kind of, and took the lead kind of early in the third or mid third.
yeah.
With a kind of smaller lineup. And then Joe put in the double big. He had Horford and Cornette in there. And immediately we kind of went on a counter run and mixed in some zone coverages. I just liked a lot of the adjustments after their third quarter run. And from there, we kind of took the rest of the game and
Hornets had some
cruised to a
good
9-point
minutes
victory.
lately.
Fournette, ever
Yeah,
since he's come back from injury, I think he's been
yeah.
great.
I
Yeah.
agree. He's had some good, really good
Look,
minutes.
his cuts and finishes at the basket. I think,
Yeah,
especially offensively, he just
rebounding.
knows where to be. And
Yeah, agreed.
agreed.
He's had some really good minutes. Um, yeah, not. I mean, I didn't feel like that game was
Hmm.
all that tight. I know they went ahead and they kind of hung on, but I
Yeah.
still think um, I felt as though we were going to win most of the time. So
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Another snoozer. Celtics return home, beat the Spurs 117-98. This Spurs team stinks. They're
yes,
so bad.
yes,
I don't understand. Like the Pistons are getting all the slack for being so terrible this year. This team is worse.
yeah,
If they didn't have Wemby, it would be like, and I was not impressed with Wemby this year. This game, I thought he way too much isolation. Wasn't trying to do too much by himself, turning it over,
yeah.
just looking
Well, I'm
clumsy.
sure
Oh
he's
my
feeling a lot
goodness.
of pressure right now, right? Because
Correct.
the
And his
team's not
team
very good. Yeah,
stinks.
yeah, 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 yeah,
They
yeah. They
stink.
were not good.
This team does nothing well, and I have nothing
Agreed.
else to say. There's no
Yeah.
Porzingis, no D White in this game, and we still just absolutely destroyed them.
So, quick question: who did Osman play for? Wasn't
The
he?
Cavs.
He was decent at one point. I thought
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had some potential. He's on this team and he played 11 minutes. Yeah, it's just very interesting to me because I thought he had some potential in the past when he played, and it just seems like I don't
He
know.
used to play for the Cavs and LeBron that time, and then let's
Yeah,
see.
so maybe he's older than I
Yeah,
think he
just
is.
Cavs and Spurs.
Yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, I'm surprised he doesn't play more. But yes, this team is horrendous. Not much to watch in
no, they're
in this
so
game.
bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
agreed.
ugh.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. They're
Yeah.
just terrible.
Yeah. No, was not a lot to say in that game.
All right, well, let's just
Um,
get to right to the big one then. Um, Celtics still at home lose 102-100 to the reigning champion Denver Nuggets. Well, if you're gonna lose your first home game of the year, I mean, at least you make it to the reigning champs. I'll let you go first on this one. First thoughts on the Jokic experience.
Best game of the year for us. Best
Yeah.
game. I thought our quality of play most of the game. I mean, we had moments. We only had 2 turnovers. That's unheard of with us, right? 2 turnovers.
Hmm.
You mean the games we turn over 15, 16. I just thought we were ready to play. I thought our defense was fairly good in most of the game. I mean, we had some lapses near the end there.
Hmm.
Um, I just thought the quality of our game was extremely high. Our basketball IQ, where to be on the court. I
Hmm.
don't know, ball movement. I just really, that was a fun game to watch from beginning to end. Well, not the very end again. I have more to say about
Hmm.
that. But great game, an absolute great game. And the Nuggets are an outstanding team. They play incredibly good defense. And Jokic himself, I mean, and I don't even
Yeah.
think he had that great of a game. I mean, he wasn't, Jamal Murray really picked up the slack in the end and I think, pushed them to the win in the end. Um, I mean, Jokic had a couple key baskets in the end as well. But I thought it was a great game, an absolute great game. Now, with that said, there were, you go ahead, talk about the over.
No,
What's your overview?
I 100% agree with you. This is as encouraging a loss as we could have this year. I think, um, yeah, even losing the game, frustrating to, lose the undefeated streak at home, but I
Yeah.
thought we played well. They really played well. And I think, it just encouraged me if we did see them in the playoffs, one, that this is a team that we could hang with and beat. I really do think that even coming out of a loss at home. Because like you said, Jokic was so dominant at the beginning. He had like 15 points in the first quarter, and a couple assists. He was just running everything through them. And then third, fourth quarter, Jamal Murray just couldn't miss. I mean, he
Yeah.
couldn't have played better down the stretch. So I think including those for the both of them to play extremely well and to still hang in the game and be there in the last seconds and have a chance to win. um yeah, I mean, there's not much more you could ask for other than actually winning the game. um and I thought clear, it was also, our strategy was good and very clear. We wanted to run on Jokic all day. As soon as we
Mhm.
got the ball, it was go, go. You could see it from the very beginning. The plan was
Yes.
get out in space. If you get into the half court, Jokic is going to dominate the game and be able to pick his spots and run the game that way. It's the same thing we do with Embiid and all these guys. All these big guys that dominate the half court, it's run, run, run. And that's where we're at our best. Jaylen Brown getting out in transition. Um, that's where we exceed. And for the Jays to not play very well, at least shooting wise.
Shooting
I
wise, yeah.
thought defensively, I thought both of them stepped up and did pretty well.
Yes.
Um,
Agreed. I think it was one of our best defensive games
for
as far as
sure.
everybody's head was in the game. And they
Correct.
were,
But
for the most part, where they were supposed to be defensively. Offensively, we had a few
still
struggles.
some issues. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we had a clear game plan, clear
Yeah.
plan to compete. For the most part, it worked. Derek White's back, slumping a little, but he had a great game, hitting shots, and he's been kind of back to his
Yeah.
normal self ever since. Um, and yeah, what do you think about the end? You said you had some thoughts.
But I would also like to give a shout out. I don't do it often. I'm always in it. I think Porzingis played an excellent game
Yes,
overall. I thought
agreed.
he
Especially at the
offensively
beginning.
and
Yeah.
defensively. I mean, in the end, he had that block against Jokic where he went
Yeah.
out. And I mean, I thought this was probably one of my favorite games for him as well. I thought he played very well. And he only shot 5 threes, which is where you know what I mean? Like that's where you
Yeah.
should be. That's
Yes.
at the most, that's where I think he should be. And 11 shots. He had 21 points with 11 shots. I mean, that's pretty impressive. For him anyway. The end. So the last 17 seconds, the inbounds play. We just do not have a good inbounds play. Have you
No,
ever
agreed.
seen us? Maybe that's why he doesn't call timeouts. We do not have a good inbound play. Like it's not clear that any screens are set. It's not clear. That one wasn't even clear who was supposed to get the ball. I didn't think it was just, yeah, it's a
Mhm.
very, and then he had to call a quick timeout with 4 seconds left. The fact that with 17 seconds left, we couldn't drive to the hoop. I don't know, like
Or
to
get any real
shot
clear
up.
shot going.
Yeah,
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 it was a huck up at the end, like always, and it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah. So at least we didn't, that initial time, we didn't huck up a three.
yes,
The second part of that, the 4 seconds, Tatum, did we not see his shooting percentage the entire game? Did we not see the defense that they played on him the entire game? And he's the one that gets the ball and shoots the contested shot. I mean, he
yeah,
shot 12% at three, 37, 9 for 24 overall. And especially, I thought that second half, he just wasn't shooting well, period. So
correct.
why, again, superstar confidence down the road, maybe, I don't know, but I do think we need to rethink that whole end
No, at the
of
end of
close
games, I
game.
100% agree with you. It just everything slows down. We don't move the ball. It comes down to Tatum and maybe Brown and uh, I mean, the whole benefit of having a team that's, six really deep is to be able to utilize all those guys, and they do that the whole game until the very end.
Yeah.
And it's all the creativity is just sucked out of this team. We've been saying this all year, and that back
Yes.
to last year. It's the last minute offense is just brutal.
So again, if you're a defense, if you're in a close game with the Celtics, what are you going to do? You're going to cover, right? You're going to cover
Yeah,
Tatum. You're going to maybe double
double
team
team
cover
Tatum. Yeah, and
and
he's
you've
gonna
got a really
and
high
all season
chance.
he's looked to pass out of that, but that last minute, it's going up.
Well,
It's
4 seconds. I mean, you don't have much of a choice
a
that point. If you
foresight, but
just,
I just mean in
yeah,
general. Just
yeah,
last couple possessions, if they double team him, all game he'll be good passing out of that. But if
yeah,
he does the hero ball at the end, it's just brutal.
yeah, agreed. Um, and you know what? That's a combination, right? He's our superstar, but that's also
Hmm.
Missoula and that 17-second drawing up a play. Like, what is the play? I
Yes,
still
agreed.
went back and watched it 2 to 3 times. I could not tell you who specifically that play was for. I couldn't. I mean, I don't know. And the good thing was I didn't think it was for Tatum necessarily because it didn't look like they were going out of their
Yeah.
way to find Tatum. That's just, I mean, most of the time the other team knows when we're looking for Tatum because we're staring right at him. How many times did we come down the court in the second half and posting, posting, posting? He'll give the ball for a second, but then he's posting and everyone's looking right at him like they're going to give him the ball. I mean,
Well, I mean, it
so
sounds like a great
telegraphed.
But it sounds like a great time to fake it to Tatum, and then the screener slips to the corner, and you get it to someone else. I mean, like it creates obvious situations to trick a defense when they think you're going to a certain guy, but
Yeah.
haven't figured
So,
that part.
yes, that probably my only complaint was that last 17 seconds, that play specifically. I think when you get to four, that gets a little trickier. And they played good defense. I mean, they really did. I think they're very good. They held us to 100 points. I mean, it's a very good defensive team. So, um, yeah. And both the Jays, I mean, like I said, their 3-point percentage is extremely low. So I'm very glad that nobody shot a 3-point shot at the end. At least Tatum's was a two, long two, but a two, as opposed to. But anyway, I thought, yeah, overall, I thought it was the best game, and the proof that they can um, have that intensity when they want it. They can play great defense when they want it,
Hmm.
when they want to. It was proven in that game. They just had, you could tell there was a different feel to that game than a couple of the games we're
The
going to
rest
talk
of
about.
these, yeah, we've had a bunch of snoozers.
Well, the next game, who was the next game when you were like,
uh, Rockets.
yes,
We
and
can
it
get
was
into
like,
that one now. Then smooth
but it was like,
transition. Celtics
who's this
go on the
team from
road
the
in
Nuggets game? Who's
Houston.
this team? I just
Um,
thought the intensity was so low.
yeah. Yeah, no Drew, no Al on that one. Pull out with
Yeah,
the win, 116-107. But
yeah. They were too close the whole
um
time.
yeah, it was a close one most. I mean, Second half, I feel like we were always in the 10-ish points range. They came back a little bit, made it close. But I don't know. I never feel like feared we were really going to lose this game.
No, I
Um,
think we do have a little bit of a, you know, at one point, I think they were below 10 at one point. And it's just
yeah,
that
yeah. I mean, a
feeling
lot of the
like,
fourth quarter, they got it within
like,
3 and 4. But
yes.
I
Yeah.
mean,
But it's sort of like, I don't know, just why are they even there? Why is this team even there? I will give Ime, this was again a terrible shooting game for Tatum. I
yeah,
think he
four
had
for
17.
17, 1 for 6 from three.
Yeah. And they know how to play defense on him. Note to self, Missoula, Celtics, and Tatum. What do you think's going to happen in the playoffs?
Mhm.
What do you think's going to happen? I mean, you got to get ready for this, and you got to figure out what you're going to do
Yeah.
because
Porzingis
and
was really good in this game. Team high
agreed.
32.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought for the Rockets it was a better game too. I thought they shot better.
Yeah. And they're missing a few guys. They didn't have
Yeah.
um
They had my player of the game, player of the week.
oh yeah.
Villain Dylan. Dylan Brooks was my
Dylan the
player of the
villain.
week. Yeah.
I do like
I
Dylan Brooks.
I think he is gritty. I know he had some anger management, or that's why the Grizzlies supposedly got rid of him. But
Yeah, no, I just
some
yeah.
some
Maybe
issues or
to
whatever.
gel with people, but
But I think he's a very good player.
yeah,
I mean for
especially
them
defensively. He's
he
just
played
tough,
40
just
yeah,
effort
40.
wise. Yeah.
He was their high scorer too, 25 points.
Yeah. I
Five
mean,
for
I
15
wouldn't
at
yeah,
three. I
I
mean,
wouldn't
yeah.
go too far with his offensive performance that game,
Yeah, I thought he played well all
but
around. So
he's a
he was my
competitor.
player of the week, my surprise player of the week. And yeah, he was on Tatum a lot. I thought he
Yeah.
played
Oh yeah.
extremely well. Yeah.
He's a good defender for sure.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So he was my player of the week. That was the big. I don't have much else to say about that
Yeah.
game.
Not much else
Sengun
for that game.
Sengun is still
No,
kind
he
of
had a
funny to
bad game.
watch, but he's fun to watch as far as the
Yeah.
slow-mo
Just
hook.
goofy kind of, yeah. Kind of bump the guy and
Whoa.
throw it
Yeah,
up and it
yeah,
somehow go. You're like, how did
yeah,
that
yeah,
go in? But he always
yeah,
hits it.
yeah. Like, what is this? The 70s?
Yeah, he definitely has a
Whoa. Yeah,
goofy style, but
yeah.
he's good. All right, well, we can get to the last one. 2 nights, Monday night, Celtics win at the Mavericks. No Kristaps in this one. No revenge game. Him coming back to Dallas. Um, yeah, well, if the Jays, had a couple off shooting nights, this was not one of them. Both of them.
Not at the three.
Yeah, but
It didn't
39 and
seem like
34
it.
points.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it.
Lots of
Well,
free throws for Tatum. He shot
yes.
9,
Yeah,
15 for 19 from the free throw line, which is good, I think.
yeah,
We need to get
yeah,
to the free throw line more.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, Luca was complaining big time. He's whinier
Oh
than
my
anybody.
goodness.
Yes, he complains a lot.
I
But
was gonna
they
say,
shot a total of 14 foul shots, and we shot
yeah, Tatum had
30.
19 alone.
30. Like, that's a big difference for these two teams. So that was very interesting to me. So, what's your thoughts on the game?
I was gonna say Luca is quickly becoming my least favorite star in the entire league. Oh
Great.
my goodness, that guy. Just complaining constantly, the body language. It's like, yeah, he's talented, but what happened to this guy? It's all isolation. He makes no one better, does not seem like a leader at all. Terrible body language, doesn't play defense, complaining constantly. It's like, what? I mean, like he makes Kyrie look like a kind of humble superstar. I mean, oh my goodness.
100%.
Just
I can't even imagine
diva
what
constantly.
Kyrie is thinking right now. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
It's
So this is what I wrote
unbelievable.
for notes. This is what I wrote. Luca, out of shape, crybaby.
Yeah. It's
He was
ridiculous. When did
out
he
of
become
shape,
this?
out of shape. He cannot run up and down the court. He's out of shape.
No.
He's
Doesn't play
completely out of shape.
defense.
Yeah. And he's a crybaby
If he
every
doesn't
single
if he
time.
doesn't have the ball, he just sits there. I mean, he
Yeah.
does nothing to make anyone else better, make plays for
Yeah.
anybody unless
Yeah.
he's the one with the ball. It's
100%.
ridiculous. And I would hate to be his teammate. I would hate to be a Mavericks fan. I don't know what he used to, when he came into the league, he did not play like this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
First
what's
game
happened.
last year that we played them, he was this way. He was
Agreed.
then the second time we played them, there was growth. Like he started passing more, and it seemed like they were really making an effort.
Well, they had gotten Kyrie at that point.
Yeah.
First time they
were
didn't have
making
Kyrie,
an
they did the
effort
midseason
to,
trade.
yeah. And then this time it seemed like it was right back.
Yeah. Oh, just brutal the whole time. Completely brutal.
And it is kind of funny. Kyrie shot 20 times, but I thought it was extremely quiet 20. I mean, I thought
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know if that was because Luka shot 30 times.
Yeah, because Luka's
a
ridiculous.
loud 30. A very loud 30.
Oh my gosh, he has the ball constantly. If he doesn't have the ball, he's adding nothing to the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Brutal.
He was minus 13 for them. He was the
little team low. I wrote that down. A team low minus 13 for Luka.
Yeah.
Even with all, and the announcers just are like just not seeing it. I mean, Scal and Drew are just like Luka magic. I'm like, he has just been terrible. Yeah, I thought he was. He had a triple double. I thought he was terrible.
Yeah,
I thought he just
agree. Yeah, I mean, he did have 18 rebounds, and I mean, he did. Yeah,
but he plays constantly, and he's always getting the rebound because everyone else is already running because they know he's going to bring the ball up.
40 minutes, and his hands are on the ball.
It just seems like stat padding. Like it's. Yeah,
agreed.
Not impressed. Once again, another just ugly Luka performance.
They most definitely do not seem like contenders playing this way. They don't.
No, I mean, no way. Yeah. Not even a little.
He needs to get in the gym.
I mean, they've been saying this. People were saying he's in better shape this year, but
not in this game. I thought he was out of breath,
huffing
tired,
and puffing. Yeah,
maybe just crying too much, and that made him. But he seems extremely out of shape to me.
I mean, Jaylen Brown couldn't have been happier to go one-on-one with him every time. They're looking for that matchup. They're like, I'll score on you every single time. He bumps Luka. Luka's like hitting his face. He's like, oh my goodness, such a crybaby constantly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Speaking of intelligent players, I meant to say this. I got to go back quickly. The Nuggets game. Did you see near the end when Jokic faked going in on the foul shot and he made our players go in and have a lane violation? I mean, thank goodness.
They called it like a double.
Replay was hilarious. He did not set foot in there. He just went like he was going.
His toe was in there, but he did,
It was so funny. He is, that and the rebound that Porzingis went up to get, and he went up straight, hand on the ball, but he must have slightly nudged Jokic, and he fell, and they called a foul on Porzingis when he clearly got the rebound or whatever. He is just, I have to say, a sneaky smart player. And he
is the smartest player in the league and the best player in the league, in my opinion. I mean,
what made me think of that is, Luka was many times compared to Jokic. And after playing them recently, I'm like, he is not even in his league.
But he could be. But he could, like, it's more like it's not a talent thing. It's like a style of play thing that Luka is fully capable of doing. And there's no reason he couldn't not be as, heliocentric as a team that gets thrown in the NBA a lot now, but just like getting other people involved in ways that aren't like Luka has the assists and, dishes when he's doubled and stuff, but it's not the same like fluid. It feels like he's stuck and then he dishes. And it's like, all right, it's your turn. Or the way Jokic does it is so much more fluid, and the cuts and the way he misdirects people is just not even close.
Yes.
Just in terms of watchability too. I mean, like if I was a Nuggets fan, I'd tune in for Jokic every night. I mean, I just one game of Luka and I'm like, oh, I'm done. But no way I could watch that team every day.
Agreed.
Although the Mavericks did have my player of the week.
Oh, you did? Who?
Or my opponent of the week, which was Derek Lively, the second, their rookie, big guy. He was good. He's going to be he's going to be a good rim runner. I mean, he's 19 years old. He didn't pad the stats, but I mean, why aren't they running like Luca and him pick and rolls all day? I mean, he has
Yeah.
good hands. He's getting rebounds in there. He's
Yeah.
big
Young.
7-footer that, has some coordination and some athleticism. I like, again, a guy that they could utilize, but it's just the Luca show just by himself constantly. And when it's not, you have Kyrie, and now it's the Kyrie show, and it's a
Yeah.
disaster over there. Everything I expected it to be, really.
Yeah. And then Josh Green, 4 for 7 at three, 5 out of 11 overall. Like, why is he
Yeah.
shooting the ball more?
Well, I mean, all I hear is Luca doesn't have any help. And then I watch the team, I'm like, they got some guys.
Yeah,
He doesn't do anything to
yeah.
help
Kyrie
himself.
shot 3 for 7, 42%, 9 for 20. I mean, he wasn't shooting poorly either. I mean, I
It's
don't know.
just, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just ridiculous.
Tim Hardaway Jr.,
And
he had a great night, 20 points,
yeah,
57% from three, 8
I
for
don't
13
care what
overall.
Luca's stats are. He
Yeah.
stunk. He
Yeah. I
stunk. You
agree. I
can't
agree.
watch
Yeah.
that game and tell me Luca was good. I don't care what the
Yeah.
stats say. Watch the game.
I agree. And he does cost them the game. I think
Yeah.
he costs them the game. You're right about defense. Yeah, lack of foul calls. And then he's out of the game complaining to the refs and he's not getting back on defense once again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made Tatum look great, I thought.
Agreed. But that's what I'm saying. Tatum's not a vocal leader,
No.
but at least he leads by example. He's a tough rebounder, tough defender. He's physical, just brings a certain intensity to the game
Yes.
that
Yeah.
teammates feed off of that Luca does not at all. I mean,
Yeah.
just there's no sense of camaraderie on that team that I feel at all.
Yeah.
It's just the Luca show, and the guys they plug in around him that are just like, I guess I'm on Luca's team now.
Yeah.
Just not enough bad things to say about that. And I was coming into the league a huge Luca fan. First couple of years, I mean, he didn't play the styles, fast breaks, dishing, and I don't like
He's
whatever
not
has
that
gotten
old.
in.
I think he's
What?
Tatum's age, right? He's not that old.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
25.
saying.
Yeah.
Just this plotting style that they've developed is just unwatchable. I just
And I
can't
was a
say
little
enough bad
sad
things
for
about it.
our old friend Grant Williams did not have a good game. I felt bad for him too.
No, he's in the Luca vortex. What do you do? You
He
sit in the corner and you
started.
shoot the threes, and that's what he did before. But what else are you gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah, he started the year a little more important to the team, and just it seems to be fading away for some reason, which is sad. I was hoping that he would have more of a role.
Yeah,
Good player, gritty player. I hope he finds a home and succeeds.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, he's not motivated to play defense against those big guys and take those hits with Luca like he was on our team, because he's like, screw this. I'm not taking these hits for this clown.
Yeah.
He's not doing that.
Yeah. Agreed. It was funny when he took his headband off when he was mad after the technical.
Yeah. Switch his shoes at the half. Oh my goodness. Just couldn't have been more just over dramatic the entire game.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough negative things to say.
Yeah, no, it was tough to watch. I agree. Like I said, he does make Kyrie look humble. He didn't even die.
Yeah. Kyrie just looked like a guy that was, made Kyrie likable. I didn't even think that was possible.
Yes. And I wonder what he's thinking about playing with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Oh, well, anyway, they are not contenders. I will tell you that right now.
Yes. 100% agree.
So a couple things happened. Terry Rozier trade.
News. Terry Rozier, your guy, to the Heat. Oh boy.
So I haven't been following the Heat. I love the Heat. They're one of my second favorite teams. I know. I do. I just love watching them play.
I agree. They're everything I like about basketball. Because they always beat the Celtics.
Thursday game, I'm really looking forward to kind of see how they've been playing. So I haven't been following them, but I am a little shocked about the Kyle Lowry trade, only because I thought the beginning of the year when he was playing, he looked super healthy. I think at the end of the year when he wasn't super healthy, he's a super smart player and he helped them a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're playing and who fills that role that I think Kyle Lowry was extremely valuable in. maybe he's hurt, maybe he has some nagging injuries still, and that's why. So it's obviously a younger, older
I think
trade.
it's older. Yeah, I think he was
Yeah.
just getting old as
Yeah.
well. And
But I
I
am a
think
little
Rozier's just a
surprised.
clear upgrade. I mean, I think he'll
Yeah.
fit right in.
It's going to
It
be
just
interesting.
annoys me. They're just going to
Yeah.
be so good and such nuisances in the
Yeah.
playoffs, like
Good for
always.
Terry.
And
Yeah. I'm excited for
God,
Terry.
I couldn't
Yeah.
look forward less to seeing that team in the playoffs. Please, Bucks, Sixers, somebody else deal with them. I just losing to them again is like my worst nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I don't
And
want to lose.
yes, I
I
think
don't want to
clear
lose to
upgrade,
them, but
great
they
move for
are
them.
one of my favorite teams.
Yeah, great organization. They
I just
always
love Terry.
find guys. They have
Yeah.
Hawkes this year, who's rookie of their contention, probably won't win it because of Chet, but
Yeah.
just annoying that they just
Yeah.
pulled off another really good trade.
Yeah. So anyway, looking forward to Thursday's game. That's night. And then Bucks firing the head coach.
Bucks,
Give me
Adrian
that.
Griffin gone. Breaking news just dropped. Doc Rivers signs the deal. He's the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
So give me the background. I did not read too much on that. Why would they let him go?
So from what I've read into this, they get rid of Mike Budenholzer last year,
Yeah.
who I think is a good coach. I'm not exactly sure. A lot of the whispers behind the scenes are it's Giannis is kind of pulling some strings. I want this
Yeah.
guy gone. He refused to sign the extension until they signed Dame and made that trade because he wanted them to make a move. So he's kind of and so apparently he switched up a lot of their defensive philosophies and having Brooke Lopez and drop coverage. And the players weren't happy about that. Dame had some issues with him, and so it just wasn't working in general. And so I think the players, it was more kind of a players mutiny. Like this guy's not the guy for us. And from a Bucks front office uh, perspective, they're like, we're competitors. The players don't like this guy. Like, no time to waste and do it after the season. Let's just like we could win it this year. So why waste a year if it's not working out? And so they made the switch.
So they must have been
43 games
talking to
in,
Doc
and
Rivers before they did it. They had to have been. And you wouldn't go in not knowing
well,
who
it
you were
sounds like a
going
players
to.
mutiny. If it's the
Yeah.
players are like,
Yeah.
this guy's got to be gone. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of more of a panic. If you're only 43 games in, it's a bit of a panic move. I don't know if you even need a plan B. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't care what the plan B is. This guy's got to go. And so he's out. Doc Rivers in. We'll see. I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about Doc Rivers. I was also hearing that apparently they looked at Nick Nurse, who's now the Sixers coach, former Raptors coach, and Giannis said no, did not like Nick Nurse, which I think Nurse is a great coach. He's been really good with Philly this year. He's really won a championship in Toronto. So sounds like Giannis is pulling strings up there and kind of calling his shots in a way that might not be beneficial as he thinks it is.
It'll be interesting. And then the Siakam trade. What do you think of that?
It's interesting. I mean, I think Indiana now little scarier in an early playoff series,
Yeah,
but
they are. I agree.
I wouldn't fear them too much. I don't think it brings them anywhere near contention status, but
I don't know. I think that's a
interesting
big piece
to watch in future years.
Yeah, I think it's a big piece.
Never been a big Siakam guy.
Oh, I love Siakam.
I don't know. But
I think he's been underused and underutilized and not used the right way the last few years. But so it'll be very interesting. But I like the way he plays. But not used correctly. I think they run him ragged at times, or I don't know. I think with a good guard and a good, with Halliburton, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. Fun to watch.
Yep. All right, I have one more new segment.
Okay.
And it's called, I wish I started this a long time ago because it'd have much longer lists of names, but we're starting it now because there's no time like the present. It's the Hauser lockup lists. Players that think they're going to torch Hauser, call for the ISO, and then make fools of themselves because Hauser's a much better defender than these guys give him credit for. Two names on the list this week in the inaugural Hauser lockup list. Bobby Portis on the list. Jabari Smith, you're on the list. So you're hearing it now. Here, folks. If you call an ISO on Sam Hauser, you better score, because if you don't, you're getting called out here on Shamrock Talk.
Agreed.
The Hauser lockup list.
Yeah.
Going
Agreed.
forward.
His defense
Everybody be on notice. He's a good defender.
He is
because he's the white shooter.
Yeah.
It's not mean that he can't defend, because underrated. Luka
I
was
think-
almost on this list, but he made an incredible fadeaway bucket on the one time he got those.
Yeah.
Wanted to put Luka on here,
Only one on our team. Only one. Even Drew rarely does it now. I don't know if this is doesn't want to get hurt, but only one of our team that takes the hit.
Yeah, with his chest, his hands are out.
With no hands on the player.
Yeah,
no hands.
His hands are always there.
Yep. Takes the hit, no hands on the player. And we do not have many. Well, we do not. We have a lot that just step on by sometimes. But going to the hoop, let me get out of your way. There were a couple of those in the last couple of games. I know we were winning handily and no one wants to get hurt, but some of the replays cracked me up. Like, who was it that went to, anyway, somebody was going to the hoop and we had 3 guys on him and Tatum steps out of the way. Someone's following. Oh, Jalen was following behind him. It was just terrible, terrible defense and funny to watch the replays, but yeah, agreed. Hauser doing a great job. So what's it called?
The Hauser lockup lists.
Hauser lockup list. Okay.
2 inaugural names, and hopefully we'll have many more to come as the season goes on.
One last quick question for you about Tatum's 3-point percentage. You're not concerned at all? It's bad. It's really bad in the last 6 games.
Yeah, but he goes through these phases. He always has.
I
feel like every year we go through this. You want to know what I'm actually more concerned about is his free throw percentage. What's going on this year? He's missing a bunch of free throws. Just uncharacteristic.
I don't kind of think that's tied to being unhappy with his shooting percentage overall. I just have this feeling that if you watch the game, I think not making those threes, I really do. If you watch how he plays, sometimes it really throws him off when he is not hitting the way he thinks he should, and that affects his free throws. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
But like Raptors, 16%. Spurs, 37%, not quite as bad. That's above his average. Nuggets, 12% at 3. Rockets, 16% at 3. And Mavs, 25% at 3. I mean, that's horrendous, you know. So, and again, I'm just concerned because in a close game, who is our clutch shooter right now?
Sure.
He is. So,
yeah,
you know, that's something to.
I just brought it up. Small sample size for this season. He's actually better than last year and better than the year before, 3-point percentage wise.
Yeah, that's because he
35
runs up in the bad teams, the teams that don't play defense.
But 35.3% 2 years ago, 35% last year, 36.1 this year. So he's up slightly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, free throw percentage
down. Yeah, I knew that.
85% 2 years ago, 85% last year, 80% this year. We're down a full 5 points.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there, but something to watch.
Yeah.
I also do have one last thing. We're halfway through the season. Any halfway thoughts?
On other teams or
no, just in general.
Celtics?
Anything you got halfway. Either way.
I was looking at who is doing well right now in the standings. Pelicans are doing shockingly well.
Yeah, they're good.
Fifth.
Yeah. I mean, it's West is hard to tell because it's a logjam. Fifth, they like leads 3 games. They could be 9th next week. It's so close with all those teams.
Yeah. Agreed. Rockets are way down there and they're only 4 points, 4 games out from the Suns.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are
the West is really
8
close.
teams that are, but just some teams that Thunder top, like, and they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but never would have called that. Pelicans never would have called 5th. Never. Everybody else, is in there. Jazz has been playing well recently too. They lost their last 3, but 6 out of 4. They were on a winning streak there for a while. What about you? Mid-season.
My big midseason takeaway is approval of Joe Mazzulla's job so far.
Mm.
We talked preseason. The roster's there, obviously. You get the big trades. You're better than you've ever been. We talked in our preseason pod. The eye's going to be on Mazzulla. What's he doing this year? Second year. And I think he's stepped up and made those second year adjustments in almost everywhere I would want him to. I think the rotations have been great. The way he's sitting players, rotating them through games and getting guys rest when they need it. The staggering Allen Kristaps on back-to-backs. Mixing in zones. We're playing that like 2-1-2 here and there. The timeout thing people always harp on. He's gotten a little better at that, but
I agreed. He has gotten better.
It's a quirk, but I don't worry as much about that. I just think he's answered all of my questions halfway through the year. And I think, people harp on him a lot and blame a lot of the team struggles. I think I just want to give credit where credit due. I think halfway through the year, I give 2 thumbs up to Joe Mazzulla and the job he's done. And
Agreed.
I don't have many complaints. I mean, it's easy to say when we have the best record in the league, but I mean, we have the best record in the league. You can't take that away from him. And just in terms of rotations, developing the team, I think
And
he's
even
done a great
recently,
job.
to his credit, the few times putting in and leaving in Pritchard for defense recently, he's had a few good stints, which normally in the past that wouldn't have been the case. He wasn't shooting the 3 outstanding in those games, but his defense was very good. And like you said, sitting people at certain times, allowing Pritchard a little longer stint in the second half of the game when that typically doesn't happen. It's usually the starters. So I do agree with the rotations seem to be a little smoother, getting some more people, especially in the second half. And some of these have been close games. I mean, they it's not just a blowout where he's been doing this. It is games that are a little tighter where he's been trusting people in his bench a little bit more. So I agree.
Up next, we got tomorrow, like you said, looking forward to. I wonder if Rozier will play probably tomorrow at the Heat.
Interesting.
So maybe a little new look Heat if he plays, but we'll see. I mean, knowing Spoelstra, talking about Missoula, Spoelstra is probably at least my pick for best coach in the league. Just signed the biggest deal. He'll play the mind game and won't play Rozier because he doesn't want us to get the look at him yet. And he loved to do stuff like that. So maybe he doesn't play, but that's a big one at the Heat. And then we have 7 home games in a row. Big home stand starting with the Clippers, Pelicans. Are you going to any of these?
I'm at the Clippers and I'm at the
You're
Pelicans.
at the Clippers. Ooh, that's a good one.
It is
good. They've been playing well.
Yeah, we're at the Clippers and I'm at the Pelicans. Looking forward to it. And like I said, Pelicans have been playing very well. So I'm excited to see that game as well.
That'll be 2 fun ones.
Yep. Don't have the Pacers. And Dad is going to the Lakers with Ian. Ian's in town.
Ooh,
and so those 2 are going to the Lakers. So
I'll be in
Florida.
Oh, tough.
On vacation.
Tough life. Maybe we can get Dad in for that pod.
Yep. So he's going to the Lakers with Ian. So yeah, a lot of fun games coming up. Really looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I am too. Heat's always fun. As much as they piss me off how good they are, how smart they are.
Yeah.
Heat culture.
They are smart. He is good.
I just hate it. I hate that.
Spoelstra is good.
It just pisses me off so much.
And they're 5th. They sneak up there. They're down there for a little while. They have some injuries.
Never trust what they have going on. It's never what you see over there.
It's almost like they like to be low key.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. They do.
Agreed. That's all I have.
That is all I have as well.
Warriors, not so sneaky this year.
Yeah. Could be a tough year for them.
Yeah.
But yep. We'll be back next week. I will be in Peru. So we'll get a Peru pod. I probably won't have my mic, but I'll just use my AirPods and little lower quality pod, but we'll keep chugging. I'll watch the games. Got a live from Machu Picchu podcast or something.
I can't wait.
And so I'll have reports from the Incan Empire.
Looking forward to it.
And yeah, and we'll keep rolling.
All
Find
right.
us everywhere worldwide as usual at Shamrock Talk Pod on Twitter, at Shamrock Talk on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. What's our unofficial sponsor today, Mom? What
Ooh,
do you got?
today a friend gave me something and nothing. Cucumber
Something and
premium.
nothing.
It's called something and nothing. That's what the brand is. Oh, can't see that. This is a cucumber premium soda, 45 calories, all natural ingredients, no sugar. It does have some grape juice, lemon juice, cucumber extract. Very delicious. Very, very delicious. That's what I poured out of the can. But anyway, the name of it is Something and Nothing.
Something and nothing, today's unofficial sponsor. Something and nothing, if you'd like to be the official sponsor, send Mom like a 6-pack. That's all we need. We'll represent you every week. You can be the official sponsor. The bar is very low.
Yeah. And on the
Bar
back,
is
it says for the curious. And we are
for the
curious.
curious. We are curious. What do the Heat have up their sleeve next?
That's right.
Because they know it's something.
Yep.
And that's it.
Go Celtics.
We're out. Go Celtics.